Hey everybody, I'm Chef Tom with allthingsbbq.com, and this is the Patty Melt. Well, today we're tackling an American classic burger, or sandwich, depending on who you ask, that's been around for the better part of a century. The Patty Melt dates all the way back to the 1930s and 40s and hails from the state of California. And for me, it's one of those staples of the American diner. Now we're gonna keep it mostly traditional today, cooking our beef patties on a flat top surface. They'll be served in between 2 slices of toasted rye bread, along with some Thousand Island dressing, caramelized onions, and melted Swiss cheese. So we're doing all of that on the grill. Let's get the grill fired up. And today we're cooking on the Kamado Joe Classic 3 ceramic grill, and we're using lump charcoal. We're gonna use, I'd say medium amount of charcoal. We don't wanna overload it, but I do want this fire going for just a little bit. And I'm gonna kind of bank it to one side for now. Leaving some of these bigger pieces at the bottom should help us get some good airflow, along with the airflow coming off the side here. So while the grill is warming up, we're gonna break down our onion for our caramelized onions. We'll move on to making our Thousand Island and preparing our burger patties. Now we're gonna cut, or slice these, I should say, from pole to pole, as they say, which basically just means you're following the ridges, the natural ridges in the onion. And I'll usually like to get these all set up so we can just run through them all at once, getting them sliced fairly thin. All right, so the charcoal's starting to take hold. Before it really takes off, I wanna get our soapstone in here to preheat. So we're gonna close this up, and just open that all the way as well as the bottom. So now we're gonna put together our Thousand Island dressing. This is a really simple 4-ingredient recipe. You've got half a cup of mayo. We're using Duke's today. Then we're gonna do 3 tablespoons of ketchup. And this happens to be the Smoking Ghost ketchup from Hoff and Pepper, so it's got a little kick to it. But more than that, it's got fantastic flavor. You're better than average ketchup for sure. Next, we're gonna do a teaspoon of mustard. In this case, it's the Kozlik's Triple Crunch, which as you can see is kind of like a mustard caviar, just pickled mustard seeds. Great little pop when you bite into them. And then the last thing is we need a little relish. So we're gonna chop up about 2 tablespoons of some bread and butter pickled jalapenos. And that's it. Just give that a mix. Set it aside or set it in the fridge until you're ready to use it. Now the burger patties themselves come from these 1/4-pound pucks from Creekstone Farms that are about an 80 to 20 blend, blended with brisket. So a lot of great flavor in these patties. We just want to press them out to a size that kind of matches our bread. So in this case, we've got our rye bread here. We'll set that down next to it for size reference. We want to make sure that our burger patty is going to cover that, which means we're going to go a little bit wider than the bread itself. Looks like a pretty good fit, maybe just a touch more for shrinkage. All right, so once that's good, we'll take that off to the side. We'll get these seasoned up once we get them all pressed out. We're gonna season these up with the OBQ's steak maker. This is a really unique rub, I think. Number 1 ingredient is dried Worcestershire, so it's got that tang to it, but it's also got salt, garlic, pepper, and even a little beef base to it. Now I'm gonna go throw the burger patties into the fridge to chill out while we cook the onions. So I've stabilized the temperature at about 375 inside the grill. We're keeping it just a little bit low right now while we cook off the onions. We don't wanna scorch these right off the bat. So we're just getting some beef tallow down on our soapstone. And then we're gonna add the onions carefully. I'm gonna hit them with a little bit of seasoning because that salt's gonna help pull out some of the moisture, and then we can kind of toss these and turn them around. We're using the Yoder Smoker's beef rub today just to intensify that beefy, salty flavor in the patty melt. All right, we've been turning and cooking these onions for about 15 or 20 minutes now. We've got some nice caramelization going on. Not 100% caramelized, but I like the color that's there, so we're ready to pull these off. So at this time, I also want to kind of rake these coals, make sure we're keeping everything hot. We're going to open the airflow all the way up for a bit higher grilling temperature. So the grill's up in the 500 range now. We're going to throw our cold beef patties onto the soapstone. And then we're going to hit that backside with the steak maker as well. Oh yeah, great crust on there. These quarter-pound patties really won't take long to cook, so we'll give them just a little bit longer to crust up on the bottom and pull them right off. Really won't need to take a temp on these. So got good sear on both sides now. We're gonna go ahead and pull these burgers off. I mean, they've been cooking for less than 10 minutes total cook time. It does not take long at these temps. All right, so we're gonna scrape off the excess off the surface of the soapstone. Clean this up just a little bit so that we can toast our sandwiches or toast our rye bread in here. Also gonna just close that airflow down a little bit to calm down the heat. So now we're gonna assemble these patty melts. I'm gonna start by getting Thousand Island on either side of the bread. You don't have to go super heavy. You can always have some of this on the side for dipping later. Then we're gonna do a slice of Swiss cheese. So then we're gonna land our burgers right on top of that. Our burger patties, I should say. Then we'll pile on the caramelized onions. And on the other side, we're gonna do a slice of Swiss American cheese. So imitates that Swiss cheese flavor, but melts like American. Bread on top, and those are ready to go to the grill for toasting. All right, back to the grill now. We're gonna get some butter down to toast our sandwiches. Oh no! Now we'll close the lid up to help the cheese melt. Oh yeah, that's looking good. Nice crust on there. All right, cheese is melting and bubbling out. Let's take a look at the opposite side. Looking nice and toasty. We're ready to pull all of these off. All right, let's take a look at the cross section here. Oh boy. That's a juicy little burger right there. I'm dripping out that melty cheese. Oh man. That beef is so juicy right now. And it's fully enclosed in the Swiss cheese. The caramelized onions are sweetening things up. Nice little bite from that Thousand Island with the jalapeno in it. And then the crunch of the rye bread. This is pure comfort food. This is sitting at a diner way too late. You know you ought to be going home, but instead you're gonna have one more of these. And I can't blame you. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to check out allthingsbbq.com for all the products featured in today's video. If you enjoy the recipe, hit that subscribe button. And if you have any questions or comments or there's anything you'd like to see me cook, let me know in the comment section down below, and let's be good to one another. For more recipes, tips, and techniques, head over to allthingsbbq.com/thesauce. All Things Barbecue, where barbecue legends are made.